Hey everyone! Welcome to Vacation Bible School Day 4 at Spring Hill Presbyterian Church. We've had so much fun learning and singing with you this week, and we're ready to learn and sing with you for one more day.
Does that sound weird to you? We're gonna cut that part. Okay.
It's like GC. If you love somebody, better tell them while they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you. You'll never know what went well, then again it just depends on how long of time is left for you. I've had the highest mountains and I've had the deepest rivers. Cannot have it all, but life keeps moving. Now take it in, but don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world, ayy. I'm on top of the world, ayy. Waiting on this for a while now, pay my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, ayy. Been holding it in for a while, ayy. Take me with you if I can. Dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, try to take the easy way out. Kept falling short of something. I could've gave up then, but then again I couldn't have. But I traveled all this way for something. Now take it in, but don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world, ayy. I'm on top of the world, ayy. Waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, ayy. Been holding in for a while, ayy. Take me with you if I can. I'm dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, ayy. I'm on top. Wow, I messed that up.
How's that part even go?
I don't know. Paul and Silas were thrown into jail, and they prayed and sang God's praise. Soon an earthquake opened the doors, and the jailer came to faith. So when you're in a tight spot, a place you wish you were not, be still and pray, listen and obey, and trust in God to show you the way.
people came to the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army coming after me. I raised my rod, stuck it in the sand, and all of God's people walked across dry land, singing, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, uh-oh, oh, baby, let my people go. Ho. Yeah, 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 I said, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, uh-oh, oh, baby, let my people go. Ho. Yeah, 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 well, all of Pharaoh's army was a-coming too. So what do ya think that I did do? I raised my rod and cleared my throat, and all of Pharaoh's army did the dead man's float, singing, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, uh-oh, oh, baby, let my people go. Ho. Yeah, 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 I said, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, uh-oh, oh, baby, let my people go. Ho. Yeah, 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 well, that's the story of the stubborn goat. Pharaoh should have known that chariots don't float. The lesson is simple, it's easy to find. When God says go, you better have mine. Singing, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, uh-oh, oh, baby, let my people go. Ho. Yeah, 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 I said, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, uh-oh, oh, baby, let my people go. Ho. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Good morning, and welcome to Day 4 at Spring Hill Presbyterian Church. My name is Charlie Rice, and I'd like to start us with our memory verse. Which commandment is first of all? Jesus answered, and y'all can repeat after me. The first is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is, You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. Today we're continuing to learn about the Apostle Paul. You last heard about Paul's first missionary journey. Today's story is about something that happened during Paul's second missionary journey, and I'll let him tell you it.
Oh, hey there. Yeah, it's Paul again. Today, I want to tell you about a time that my friend Silas and I were preaching in Philippi. This happened during my second missionary journey. We were in Philippi staying with our friend, Lydia. Every day we would go to the place of prayer down by the river to preach and to teach people about Jesus. One day, as we were going to the place of prayer, we met a slave woman who had a spirit that enabled her to predict the future. Wow. Her owners used her to make money by having her tell fortunes for other people. This woman began following us and shouting, "These people are servants of the Most High God. They are proclaiming a way of salvation for you." For several days, this woman followed us and shouted as we walked to the place of prayer. Now, finally, I turned around and said to the spirit in the woman, "In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave her." The spirit left the slave woman immediately. Now, you would think that was a good thing. But the owners of the slave woman were not happy with me. Oh, no. You see, by healing the woman of her spirit, I had taken away their way of using her to make money. They grabbed Silas and me and dragged us down before the authorities. That's how I ended up here. The authorities gave orders to have us beaten and thrown into this prison. And these bars are so tough. So Silas and I were in prison. Now, it would have been easy to get discouraged at this point, but we knew God was with us. We sang hymns and prayed to God all through the night. Around midnight, there was a violent earthquake. that shook the whole prison. The doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose. When the jailer woke up and saw the doors of the prison, he thought we had all escaped. Knowing that we would be getting in trouble for the escape, or that he would be getting in trouble for the escape, he became very upset. We shouted out to him, "Don't worry, we're still here." The jailer came and saw that Silas and I had stayed. We took the opportunity to tell him about Jesus. We preached to him and everyone else in the house. And that night, the jailer and his entire household were baptized. The next morning, Silas and I were released from prison. Now, being in prison is no fun, but even in prison, we were able to do God's work. Now, today, we're continuing to learn about Paul. And all of his missionary journeys. We heard about his first journey, and then the second one, where Paul and Silas were put in prison. I want to ask you now, why were they put in prison? Can you remember the answer? That's right. They were put in prison for healing the slave woman. Well, why were the owners of the slave woman so upset with Paul and Silas? Do you remember that? Well, that's right, because the woman would no longer make money for them. How did Paul and Silas spend their time in prison? Well, that's exactly right. They spent their time in prison singing and praying. So why do you think Paul and Silas stayed after the earthquake opened the doors and they broke their chains? I kind of agree with you. I don't know. It seems like if the doors flew open and the chains were broken, that I might just run off too. Maybe they sensed, maybe they thought that if they stayed, they would have a chance to witness to the jailer. See, wherever Paul went, he shared God's love, and he told people about Jesus. He even told people about Jesus when he was in prison. Paul was faithful to God, even during difficult times. And that's the good news. We can follow Paul's example and always be faithful to God. You remember our Bible verse? The verse for our memory? And Jesus answered when he was asked what was the first commandment. The first is, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength." The second is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater. And I want to thank you so much for spending time with us today, day 4, to hear the story of Paul and Silas.